Hey there, my name is Jesse Piashik, creator of Imdone, frictionless Kanban for your Markdown and code. And I'm glad to be back. I've been working on a new release, version 1.46, and we've got some really cool stuff in this release. And we're going to kick it off this time by talking about a new setting for archiving completed cards. As you know, what I've been working on recently is kind of a screaming backlog, so to speak, where everything that I need to get the job done writing Imdone is living right in the repo with me. And to do that, there's times I finish a task and I just want it out of my way. And so this feature allows you to archive cards when they get moved to done. So let me show you first the setting for this. This is the new settings for archiving completed cards. So if we go into the configuration settings for this project, take a look at archive completed cards. So it's either on or off, and then the archive folder. The default archive folder is journal archive for me because my default journal folder is journal, and then it throws a folder named archive. But you can name it whatever you want. Okay, I just recently archived everything in Imdone, and it looks something like this. This is the diff for that. You can see it's deleted some old files. Here's a card that got moved out, and the new card is going to be called something like active card should stay the same when moving a card, right? So if I look in my journal archive folder, journal, right? It was in 2024, so it's going to be sitting here. So it goes to the same folder it was in, only under the archive folder, and then it's named for the actual task name, so the card itself. Active card should stay the same when moving a card. So if I click on that, you could see some of the metadata that got added. It's archived, true, archived at little ISO 8601 timestamp. The original path, right? It's telling you the original path and the original line in that file. So pretty cool. That's that feature. So I'm going to be checking that in, moving some of my old tasks out of there. And that's available in 1.46. Also, give kudos to a percentage of completed tasks. So if you remember, you can give yourself a little celebration by adding kudos metadata to a card. So if I add kudos : true, and I move that to done, it's going to celebrate for me. But now there is a kudos probability setting, which randomly throws a kudos that percentage of the time. So I set it to 80 for this project because I want to get patted on the back more often. It makes me feel good when I finish something off, and a little celebration always helps. So you'll see there's a kudos probability, and you can set that to whatever you want. It defaults to 33%. You'll see that on some of your projects that you currently are working on. Another feature that has been added, the add new card in is a folder. If it's a folder, use the default file name and create it here or create it there. So if I'm going to create a new card, let's say, and I decide I'm going to put it in some folder, so there's that cool drop down if you remember. So I could put it anywhere in the project, right? Journal's my default, so it always shows up there. But I'm gonna put it in journal and maybe devx, right? So that's gonna create whatever card here in that folder. I'll just call it a new card. Okay, so if I save that, journal devx a new card, that gets saved there. It's not in the current filter because I'm filtered by 1.46. So if I clear my filter, we'll see that card, but I'm going to go over to here, and we're going to go to Journal DevX, a new card. There it is, right? And that's sitting and doing. We get that. I'm going to delete that right now, so let's delete it. A new card is deleted. And if we go in there, it's no longer there. It got deleted. Great. It's not going to be archived because I deleted it, but if I moved it to done, it would get archived. So next, what's next? Add recent written paths to top of add file in autocomplete list and always include them. So that I can show you right now. So look, journal devx a new card, it's there. So let's say you want to add a bunch of cards to the same file. That makes it really easy to do that. So I want to organize some cards together because they're related for whatever reason. I get that right at the top. So I think that'll keep about 5 or 10 there. I can't remember the exact setting, but just a simple down arrow will get you into that autocomplete and you're in that folder for your new card. Let's see. Duplicating a card default to the same file. So if you remember in a previous release, it might have been last release, I introduced a duplicate a card board action to all new projects that get added. It's a default board action. Board actions, if you remember, live in this actions board file, and I have a whole bunch of them in there for all kinds of stuff, but I created it in here. Let's see, duplicate card, there it is. So this is going to now create it. If you can see the path I'm passing to new card in this board action is task.rel path. So if I create a duplicate, and this I wanted because I'm creating these launch cards, right? Every time I launch a new release, I want a launch card, and I'm putting them in the same folder. I want them to be organized so I can go back and I can see the things I did over the course of time. So if I duplicate this card with Shift D, you'll see that it's going to create it in the same path. So if I was creating one for 1.47, I would just do this, you know, nice little default. I can duplicate this exactly the same way for 1.47. I am not going to do that right now. I'll do that a little bit later. But this is a nice little enhancement for duplicating new cards. Makes it a little bit easier to keep them together if you want to do that. Let's see. What else do we have? Hide and show notifications. I'm going to have to move my head a little bit. Let's see. Notifications. This notification can be hidden. Do you see that? So now if you get a Kudos, let's just create a quick new card here and move it to done. I'm not going to create it here. Let's move it. Let's go into a getting started project. Okay, here's a getting started project that I was working on. You can see that new duplicate card in there. So here's, this is the tutorial project. You can create a tutorial project at any time. It's really simple. If you add a project, you can choose a new folder. And when you choose a new folder, you would select, let's just see, we'll call it Getting Started 2. Sorry, I got a little distracted here. I wanted to show you could do this. So Getting Started 2. So you open that Hide Advanced Options, Show Advanced Options, click on that. Select how you want to save new cards. I always like using a new file for each new card. And then add Getting Started cards to this project. If you click on that, it's going to add all the Getting Started cards. Markdown only. This is a good selection if you're using Obsidian. If not, uncheck that. If you're using code, make sure you uncheck that or it won't find to-do items in your code. So if I open this project, brand new project, see I still have a notification here. Now this is going to pop a new notification. Friend, welcome time done. I click OK. That's great. Actually, it hit it right away. See, now those are hidden notifications. They also hide with the N key, N. And if you see, there's a little number up there too. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. Number of notifications you have. It's kind of small. I think I might increase that, make it a little pill or something. It might be easier to read. Anyway, that's what it is now. So this probably has a Kudos on it. No, it doesn't have a Kudos on it. It's going to be my first card finished. So I'm going to move this to done and we'll celebrate. I have more notifications in there. So that's it. That's what we've got in this new release. I hope you like it. I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. Hope you like it. I will see you next time. I'm going to keep working on this screaming backlog thing. I want the code to scream. I want the backlog to scream. And I hope you enjoy this latest release. Give me a like, follow me on YouTube, follow me on X. You can see all those things in my channel, in the bio. Thank you very much. We'll see you next.